Hello my loves, thank you so much for being here. On this channel we are talking about becoming sovereign, being in our authentic power and rapidly and radically healing from trauma and everything associated with narcissistic abuse into our true lives, into our authentic selves, and being the creators of our own reality in co-creation with the divine. Understanding the spiritual truths, the emotional tools and ways to deal with this rapidly, and the physical and energetic and psychic and spiritual ones, which is being misunderstood. The antidote to being a prey, to one of the worst predators I think on the planet, narcissism, is to become sovereign. That's why my course is open right now. You can still join this round by the weekend. I don't know when I'll open it again. It's not going to be immediately, that's for sure. So the antidote is sovereignty. Sovereignty means I'm self-focused, which means I'm aware of my emotional reality and I am not obsessed with the external world anymore. I'm in touch with me. Self-partnered, which means I have a relationship with myself. I'm not trying to force and fix and analyze myself. I'm actually in a very powerful relationship with self. And self-sourcing, which means that I am the creator of my own reality. I'm in touch with my heart. I'm boundaried. I know my values. I know my standards. I know how to energetically hold them. You see, a boundary that you say, but not in an energetically strong space, doesn't work. And I know some of you are co-parenting, and I did make one video on that, and dealing with narcissists in your life. There may be situations where you are in a situation where you are having to deal with them. What we want to aim towards is lowering the impact of that in our lives, because it's not just the time we spend with them, it's the time we spend affected by them, ruminating, energetically drained afterwards. It's not just the impact of the conversation and interaction, it's all the aftershock, after effect, ruminating, the way that they are pillaging your energy. If you can come into sovereign, come in. The biggest change I made in my life when I was in absolute poverty started with a $500 program. That wasn't on anything to do with this because I couldn't find the right tools. It was actually on something completely different. But I mean, that started me on a trajectory of putting my line in the sand and saying, I matter now, this changes now, and I'm going to invest in myself in a way I never had before. And that investment in myself has never stopped to this day. It didn't stop when I got the things. It didn't stop when I was healed. I invest in myself as a priority to the tune of a lot of my percentage of my income, because that's what got me here. Yeah, there's something happens in the universe when you lose your excuses. Some people said, I want a payment plan. So I said yes the other day. Well, and this is not calling anyone out. It's just I know how the human works, right? We're either going to be committed to making an excuse or we're going to commit to making a way. And so many people will find the excuse. It's our nature. And when you're dealing with an impossible situation, which I was too, which was the financial, emotional, psychic and energetic, spiritual carnage of narcissistic abuse, it seems like there's no way. I could not find answers. You can't throw money at it. You can't get understood. I mean, after all the education and training and development I'd already done and helped people with, this was something that was completely mind-blowing, that I couldn't fix, I couldn't solve until I did, right? You're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. If people have asked for payment plans and they haven't jumped on the fact that I said, well, if I do offer it again, there'll be one, then you know you're more attuned to making an excuse than a way. That's not a criticism of you. I was there. I was there until the point I had to make a decision that my life had to change. I was there until the point I decided I mattered. I was there until the point where I had to heal the injustice trauma and stop saying it's not fair that I have to heal all the time. It's not fair that I have to put my resources and my money and my time here all the time, until I said, look, this is a plot twist in the universe, a glitch in the matrix, and I'm deciding it's my time. Now what? Because what I did know was I had to do something radically different to what I'd been doing. And what I had been doing was being trapped in how unfair it was. What I was surrounded by abuse and narcissists, and actually now isolated in poverty. What I did have was a life that I absolutely couldn't believe I was living and hated every day. What I also had was chronic PTSD, terrible panic attacks going on for 4 or 5 hours, adrenaline running through my body in a way that I didn't even know I'd survive, and physical degeneration of my body. That's what I had. Impossibility. What I didn't have was a way. What it didn't look like there was any way, there was a way, until I found one because of the energy I decided that I mattered. And every time I put my Line in the sand in the universe, it did something energetically and it created change. I was sovereign. I was the glitch in the matrix. I was the one. I was the one that chose to be the one. I was the one that said, I don't care anymore. This stops with me. I will find a way. I stopped making an excuse and I started making a way. I spoke to you before about the quality of your life will depend on the quality of your decisions. When you back yourself, the world moves around you. When you lose the old you, because you know it's not your true, authentic truth and power, you know there's something greater inside of you that's calling you. You change when you change. And you change when you radically do something out of character. Yeah? You think differently. You open differently. You invest differently and you lose your excuses. You'll either find an excuse or you'll find a way. So if you're ready for this, you need to join this weekend because that's the last time for this round. Yeah? When you want to find a way, you'll find a way. It's not like you can't heal without it, but it will show you where you are. Because I had every excuse and I had no money and I was every day. When I spent that $500, it was literally, I didn't know if I could buy groceries and I couldn't for a minute. You know what I mean? It was that bad. It was that bad. So I did know if I could do it in all the shit I was in, then most people on the planet can find a way. That's what I know. That's why my energy is so strong. I'm not here to convince you of anything, you know, and I'm doing things in integrity, in a very accessible way. This information, these things that I share with you, it's not available to the masses, and that's not fair. That isn't fair. You know, it's only people with a lot of money that can come into the, you know, because I don't just do healing. I'm not comparable to what's out there. It's an integrated approach using the highest level of personal development intelligence, the highest level of healing modalities, you know, and spiritual wisdom that I'm bringing into one place. You can't get that accessible to the masses, but I'm going to make it. I'm making it through this channel. I'm making it through affordable options for you. But if you're going to keep finding an excuse, then you won't find a way. So decide who you are. And that's not to beat yourself up. You just have to honor where you are. I'm still more attached to not finding a way. That makes sense in trauma. But I had all of that. And I knew there was a complete power move when I put myself in different rooms. It was only a month from that $500 program, which seemed impossible to me at the time. I had no credit cards, all sorts of shit, that I started, money came in a whole different way. But only because I had now told the universe. You see, money responds to personal power. Sovereignty is authentic power. People think that people with money have power. It's the other way round. People who decided to claim their power attract money. That's how the universe works. That's the energetic match. So the antidote to narcissism and being prey is sovereignty. Now, if you are dealing with them, you've got to treat it as business, as in terms of like, if you need to, I did a co-parenting video, please watch that. You cannot appeal to a narcissist like a rational, reasonable human being. And if you try and appeal to them on the level of emotion and compassion, it will not work. So you've got to use communication that is to the point, matter of fact, very outcome focused. I need you to do this. If they can't do it, then you'll say, I think we'll have to think about something else. But the energy you do everything in matters more than what you say. If you're already afraid, they can smell it. So you want to get yourself regulated, as sovereign as possible. Then when you say, they'll often, especially if you speak with authority, they'll often do what you say. It will surprise you. But if you're not energetically strong and not sovereign in your power, in your truth, you know what I mean? You could be swayed by them. They'll smell it. And they'll manipulate and control you and play with you and toy with you in a game of cat and mouse. And it won't matter what you say because the energy you're saying it in isn't powerful. So you've got to get yourself into an energetic space, sovereign enough, where you are communicating from power, which power doesn't justify, power doesn't negotiate, power doesn't compromise, it just states a fact. And if the person isn't compliant with that, the narcissist, then you have a plan B and you state that fact, but you're in control. You're not looking to validate, reason, negotiate with them. Yeah? And you know what you're going to do next if they are difficult. You're certainly not going to reason with them. Your power stays with you. What they do is their business and you solve the problem. You find a way. All right, my love's a bit of a powerful one, but why not turn it up? Lots of, if you want to join Sovereign, please email me. There's a separate link to if you're buying it from America to the rest of the world. It's international self-study and will absolutely dramatically change your world. Lots of love, guys. I'll speak to you soon.